Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Good morning, Tammy. Good morning. Hope we're ready to get this day started. I hope you had a good weekend. Let me tell you, I'm birthday party out. Rosie hosted her birthday party Saturday. Technically, it didn't involve me, but it was still a lot. So, good morning. Let's do the introduction because I want to talk about some things. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them up to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows and subscribe over there. It costs you nothing to subscribe to the Fearless Morning Show or the podcast, so please make sure you send them that. Don't forget, we have the books, we have the movies, we have all the things. I'm sure it was, Tammy. And it was a beautiful weekend. So Rosie enjoyed her 18th birthday. Thank y'all. She responded to everybody. So thank you guys for wishing her a happy birthday. So on this great, most amazing day, let's get it started. So if you watched the show last week, we talked about a lot of things. Like, I think last week itself was a whole last week was a whole masterclass about a lot of things. So today I want to talk about, are you offended? And I want to talk about it in terms of, yourself and then others around. I want you to think about it in terms of others around you. Like, are you offended? Are you offended because, and these are questions that you can ask yourself. Are you offended because other people have healed past something that you haven't? Are you offended because it seems like other people are doing better at a thing than you are? Are you offended because somebody has a different life than you? Are you offended that your career is not where you thought it would be? Are you offended that your relationships are not where you thought they would be? Now, as you ask yourself those questions, flip it and think about the other people in your life. Are they offended because you're doing that? Are people in your life offended because you've healed? Are the people in your life offended because you have moved on, you've healed, you've done all, good morning, Miss Lowe, you've done all the things? Are the people in your life offended because of that? Are they offended because you don't participate in their crazy anymore? Are they offended because you don't listen to their same complaining anymore? Are they offended because you don't participate in I'm broke, my baby daddy kind of language stuff anymore? Are they offended because of that? And then my question becomes, after you ask yourself, are you offended? What are you going to do about it? Like, why are you offended? And when we talk about pathways and pathology, then you need to do a pathway pathology to figure out why you are offended and what got you to that spot. Now, in there lies your I am statement. In there lies, I'm offended because I am feeling this way. I am offended because I am thinking this way. I'm offended because they are doing this. Now, they have nothing to do with you. We're only in I am offended because I. So, if I'm offended because this person makes more money than me, what did I do to help that along? Like, what did I do to participate? Did I ask for a raise? Did I look for a better job? Did I redo my resume? Did I get all the free assistance that I could do? Did I do that? Good morning, Kimberly. So am I offended because I didn't do the work? Am I offended because they did the work and got the result that I wanted, but I wasn't willing to do the work? Am I offended because they healed and moved on and I didn't? And I feel like they should still be sad and broken down like me? Am I offended because of that? Why are you offended? And then in your why you are offended lives your I am statement. Now, as you begin to understand why I'm offended, I am statement, then the concept of what you can comprehend becomes clearer, right? The concept of what I can understand lives in my I'm offended. I'm offended that that person has healed past this, but because my concept of that is not their concept, meaning I just assume you should not heal from that. So that's where I'm going to live at. That becomes my I am statement. It becomes my reality. Y'all with me? So as you think about that, think also about the concept of the, and I think when I say concept, the difference between you and that person or that situation, like where are they and where are you, and then your concept that you assume that it has to be hard to get from one place to another, when it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be difficult to get from one place to another. Now, if my concept of life is hard, I will assume it's hard. It will be hard. My reality will make it hard. What I think, my thoughts will be hard. That becomes my I am statement. And then I become offended when people do it easily. So when I look at the concept of things, what I can conceptually understand, what I know to be true for me in this moment, am I offended because I know what I know to be true because they see something different than I do? So on this great, most amazing day, it's going to be a good day. We're out in the sunshine. Well, not the sunshine, but at least we have a blooming tree behind us. And it's a beautiful day. I am the sunshine. If you ever meet me, I will say good morning, sunshine. And if you ask me how I'm doing, I will tell you that I'm peachy. And I will always tell you it's going to be the most amazing day ever. And my concept of my day and my life is that I don't believe or think anything else. And at the end of the day, I am so grateful and thankful that, and I will think on those things, and those will be my final thoughts, not the thoughts of, Lord, this is bad, this didn't work, I don't know. Those will never be my final thoughts of my day. My final thoughts were, I'm so grateful and thankful. Because what I am thinking and thankful of is what comes to me. So if I'm offended about somebody else's healing, that means I've not healed in that area. And if I'm offended about somebody else's wealth, that means I'm offended because I don't understand their concept of wealth, and I wish it should have, could have, would have been me. But in my wishing, did I understand the concept of it? Was I really offended? Or is it my understanding of it that makes it different? Therein, inside of that lies your I am, and your circle of me lies your I am statement, okay? I am always going to be this. I am always going to be happy. I'm always going to be healthy. I'm always going to be whatever it is you say you're going to be. But if you're offended because somebody else is doing it and you are not, then those are the things we have to think about. Then we have to think about the concept of the thing. So on this great, most amazing day, I want y'all to think about that. And I know y'all remember the story. Oh, don't forget that August we're going to do the Fearless Morning Show live in Tampa. Okay? So make sure you join me there. But y'all remember me telling y'all the story of my I've got to stop calling people friends, because, you know, when I meet you, I'll say, hey, friend, and then I give you that title and all the responsibilities that come along with it when that's not your responsibility. So anyway, I know this young lady, and y'all know, if you've been with the Fearless Morning Show, you know I used her as an example before, but let's look at her example in the concept, being offended in her I am statement. Is that they had a child, right? And the father left when the child was 2. And because the father left when the child was 2, the mother, she stopped living. She stopped living and she focused solely on raising her daughter. The daughter is 23 now, I think. Yeah, 23, 24. And our conversations always have never not ended this way. Young Mitra, I'm just mad because he went on with his life as if we didn't even exist. And I was left here to raise our daughter in the struggle and strife when he went on and he lived good and he lived well and he got married and him and his wife are doing this and this and this. While I'm over here doing this and I'm struggling and I never have enough and she was offended because he chose to live life. She was offended because she didn't understand how to do that. Her concept of the thing stopped at her I am statement. And her I am statement for her said, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I can never move on, I can't live. And so her I am statement stood in a negative. And what you think and what you say and wherever you put your energy and your thought is what comes to you. We talked about that all last week. So whatever I focus on is what I get. So if I'm focusing on, oh, well, he didn't love me and I didn't get this and I didn't, then that is what you get and you get more of it. It actually 10 times, the more you think about it. Y'all remember in the circle of men when I say the faster it goes, the more output it gives you and the more it projects outwardly. Just imagine thinking that thought for 23 years, 21 years now. That's all she thought. That he doesn't love me. So what happens when she gets into another relationship? Oh, because this man doesn't love me, then this man isn't. It is to live, thank you, Kimberly, it's to live very well. And eventually, it won't even be revenge. It will be you living your best life. You living your whole best life without thought of them. Because I lived that revenge life. That's why I got my my 3rd degree, my master's degree. I got it because I wanted to show him that I was not stupid. And then I realized I've got to do this for me. So when I understood that, as Kim said, I lived well for myself. But you got to understand the concept. You got to look at why you're offended. Good morning, Andrew. Right. That's okay. I knew what you meant, Kimberly. So on this great day, good morning, my friend. On this great day, don't be offended. Listen. Don't be offended when other people are living differently than you. It is simply your concept of understanding. And I want you to leave God out of this because we're making all of it God's fault when it's not his fault. Y'all know in the Bible, it says trials and tribulations. Some people mean to have trials and they mean to have tribulations. They never look at the rest of the Bible to see the abundance of all the things that you're supposed to do and have. And when you begin to understand the I am statement, when you begin to understand the concept of life, the I am, the mold, you feel it, your conscious thoughts, the path and the pathology to feel it in your outcomes, then your prayer life will change. Then it becomes more of a conversation with the Creator instead of a beg and ask. Because after a while we begging and pleading, Lord, if you just do this, well, he doesn't just have to do anything. He said you can have more than. It gives him great pleasure to give you more of. But we limit it to just. And who said just? We did. We never said that. And so you will pray a prayer that will never come because your belief says it will never come. Lord, give me good health. But in the back of your mind, you will say, I'm not healthy. Right. Listen, friend. Yes, you are. You are. Andrea is the most awesome her that she could ever be. Because can't nobody else be you. Ever. So in your prayers today, Don't use the word just. Take off the limits of your Creator. Stay in your I am statement. Don't be offended because somebody else is healing and whole and living well and you are not. It is simply your concept of your Creator that is stopping you from living that. And you can say, JoJo, I really, but no, you think I want to live like this? You think I want to live like that? I don't think anything. That's what you think. And that's evident by your life. We can't change that. JoJo can't change that. What is evident in my life is what I thought last week, last month, last year. If I thought nobody was going to love me, nobody would love me today. Because that would be my reality. Because that's what I believed. And I believed it so truly it did not matter what my prayer said. I canceled out my prayer because my belief said it could not be so. So I didn't make that up. You created that. The Creator comes to create only. He never comes to destroy. The destruction comes with our thoughts process, our belief process, and ours alone. I love you, Angie. And that's what friends are for. So listen, on this great, most amazing day, I want you to be somebody's sunshine today, okay? I want you to be somebody's thought process. Right, Tammy. That's not you using your I am statement, honey. So whatever you believe is what you see. If you believe you're overweight, you will see that. If you believe that nobody loves you, you will see that. If you believe your job will never be enough, that's what you'll get. If you believe your kids will always be bad, that's what you'll get. If you believe your man can never be faithful, honey, that's what you will get. Because whatever the dominant thought is what is true. And you can tell me all day, but JoJo, I don't want that. I want a man that's loving, that protects me, that takes care of me. You may want that, friend. But your I am statement says you don't believe it because you're offended by the mere thought of it. So you need to look at your I am statements. Because whatever the dominant thought is, I tried, JoJo, I tried to think right and I tried to do this. No, your dominant thought won. Whichever one is dominant, whichever one you focus on is what wins. And your life is evident of that. Now, the difference between the process of you thinking a different thought than what you used to, and you thinking the thought of negativity as opposed to the positive thought, here lies the repetition of the thing. I am broke, I am poor, I am not loved, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am loved. Here lies the repetition of the thing. Y'all remember we talked about pathways and pathologies? And the pathway is to lay something down to continuously tread. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. I am healthy. That means every day you have to put that pathway down. You got to consciously think that thought. So for me, when it comes up, I stop that thought. Wait a minute. We don't think like that anymore. This is our thought. Oh, this is my thought. Yes, this is your thought. And I'm consciously laying that pathway. Go back and watch all of last week's show, especially Pathways and Pathology, and the outcomes. So don't be offended today, okay? Don't be offended if somebody's living and doing differently than you. Look at your thought process and the words that are coming out of your mouth. And you can get mad at me and say, I can't believe this darn girl done got on here and said, I want to live like this. I want to be a millionaire. I will be one. Hold fast. But that in between, I am a millionaire, and the reality of it is JoJo constantly reinforcing that thought. And as I reinforce that thought, there are things that come into play every day that require me to say and to show up every day. I am healthy. There are things you got to do every single day. That conscious pathway. So on this great, most amazing day, I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. Okay? Nothing after that. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to that YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Women shows over there, as well as the podcasts, the movies, the books, all the things. I have workbooks, I have books. Y'all, we have shirts, we have mugs, we have bags, we have phone covers, we have everything over there. bit.ly/ Sister Rise is coming up in October. bit.ly/ Sister Rise. So you can grab your ticket to that. And then the other one is bit.lpc products. And I will come back later and put those links in there so that you can grab whatever you need. So on this most amazing day, it should be peaceful, period. Look at what you're offended by today. Why that's important. Where does that lie inside of your I am statement? And then, we can move from there. So on this great day, have a good one. And I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.